Welcome back, guys, and today we are going to be jumping back into the public test server for Season 7 with, of course, the racetrack to take a look at a new truck that is basically a truck that could not have come at a better time. Now, this is the Z2 modded version of the Tayga 6436, and at least I believe that's the correct number combination. 6436? Yes, actually, I was correct. Holy crap, I'm kind of surprised about that. Either way, this is a fully redone Dakar racing truck, and I cannot wait to see what it does around the racetrack itself. Enter a completely flipped over Yar in the background, but don't worry about that, that's fine. Now, this truck has all sorts of modifications that have been done to it, all from the body, down to the engine, down through the weight reduction that this thing has gone through. There's a lot going on with this truck, but my favorite part of it is well, it says that it's highly sus right there on the hood, and you know, especially when you talk to Diesel Addict about racing scenarios, highly sus is definitely a phrase that I would use. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the engine. So, we have these locked engines, but we have these engines that are definitely going to be the way to go. So Z2 Rally Engine Stage 1, Stage 2, and Stage 3. I think we're going to go with Stage 2 right off the bat. We'll see how that feels, kind of a mid-tier racing setup, and then we'll go up to Stage 3. Now, gearbox-wise, you got high range and then off-road. We're going to go with the high range because I feel like that's going to be the most well-suited to the racetrack. And then now we have stock as well as raised suspension, although the weird thing about that is that it doesn't really seem to change the height. And in fact, the raised suspension seems to be a bit lower. So I wonder if the raised suspension is maybe softer, maybe a little bit more flex focused. I'm not entirely sure. Now let's see. Whoa, look at those. So you either have 57s or 60s. And let's see, are they all the same tire? They look a bit like they're all the same tire. Interesting. Very strange. Let's do the Z2 Rally Winch for console because that'll work a little bit better with a controller. And then, let's see, short round cap snorkel, tall front facing, or intake air filter. We'll do tall front facing. I think that works the best. I think that looks the best. And it's also going to be the highest. And let's see. Whoa! So you can actually do a front weight ballast if, I'm assuming that's probably for if you find that it's getting too much dive on some of the jumps that you're taking with it. You can also do rear ballast. I'm going to do a tiny bit of rear ballast, just literally a tiny little bit to try to help keep it a little bit more level in the air. Even though I haven't driven it yet, I'm assuming that it's going to want to lean forward more than it will want to lean back, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, the light pods and the rear wing are removable if you're not a big fan of them. And then stickers-wise, we have apparently front and rear. Is that like... Oh, you could take like all the stickers off if you really wanted to. You could take every single one of them off. Now, exhaust-wise, I really like the muzzle exhaust. I think it's got a really good look to it. And then you have one wheel option, and then from there, you can change the base color however you see fit. Now, that one is going to be the one that includes kind of like that blue with the white stripe, which I really like. But again, you can go through and actually, if you go all the way down to the bottom, you have a couple of different multi-tone colors that are chilling out down there. So I think this thing's got quite a few good options for whatever color setup you want to run. And really, at the end of the day, it's all up to you. Now, normally I would install the Bobbledar, but I know where I'm at on this map. I know where I'm going, so I don't need it right now. We're going to go with beans on the dash, and you have accessories, curtains, stickers, exterior stickers, windshield stickers, hood ornaments, literally whatever you might want to do on this truck in terms of customization, it is all there. But I'm really excited to drive it, so let's see how this thing actually drives. Fires right up. Apparently, there's a lot of hood shake. I don't know why there's that much hood shake, but that's pretty gnarly. Now, let's see. Oh my god, bro, it's got torque for days. Like, seriously, this thing has mad amounts of torque. Now, I'll say that this is on the, I shouldn't say the standard engine, kind of like the mid-range engine. This is not the top engine just yet. So let's do the solo race, and we'll get it started up. And we'll see what kind of time we could do on the solo race with the middle engine and then with the max engine. So, setting off onto the lap, right off the bat, this thing is very, very quick, and it shifts through the gears actually really smoothly. I'm actually surprised, though, because when you... Whoa! Oh, what? Flipped it over right around that first set of corners. Okay, let's try to not do that. Can we, like, not constantly be flipping? Oh, my God. Can you actually work with me here? Oh, my God. But if I go to the... Yep, all right. That's going to be a thing. All right. It didn't want to let me use the mouse to winch, But when I went to quick winch, the only thing it was willing to quick winch to was that tiny little shrub. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drive up into that solo one more time and then just set off. Now, should I keep it in high range? I'm not sure if I should keep it in high range or if I should just... All right, let's go. I want to say high range is about the equivalent of 6th, but the weird thing was when I let off the throttle after this first turn, it slowed down so much that it went all the way back to like 2nd gear. And to go down from like 6th to 2nd is a huge gap. So I think you're going to be doing a lot of automatic to high again when you're driving this on a racetrack. And that's not a bad thing. It's just something you're going to have to get used to and become more aware of. Now, oh, what? It wanted to go down into 4th when it hit the mud. I'm really interested to see how differently it drives once we put the top engine in it. Because I know a lot of people really, oh my God, really like to see the difference between... you know, the top engine and some of the other engines. I've been seeing a lot of comments lately where people have said, why do you always go for the top engine? And, you know, I would like to see something other than the top engine and see how they compare. And while I get that, I also understand that a lot of people will just go for the top engine and they'll kind of, you know, not really worry about the others. And that's why I usually go straight for the top engine. But on something like this, I can totally see how you might want to tailor the power and the experience to kind of what you would like. So let's see if that rear ballast helps. It helps. It's not quite enough, but oh wow, we drove out of that. All right, but no, it's not quite enough. I think we can add a little bit more weight ballast to the rear, but I do think it's a good amount. I mean, it kept it fairly stable, but not as stable as I would like. Now, making my way around the final turn, heading towards the finish line, once you learn how to drive this thing, it actually handles really, really well. It's got a lot of grip, and it turns in really fast, but it also has a nice, like, little slide to it when you drift. All right, so that was a 140 with a couple of mistakes, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? It's not bad. We can work with that. Now we're going up to the stage 3 engine, and we're going to go back out and run that same race again. So we ran a 140 with the middle engine, and then on the top engine, let's see how much faster it feels and how much quicker of a time it puts down. So heading out onto the main track, obviously the gear ratios are going to be the same. We're just working with more power and torque. So let's see. Starting it off. Into high, back into automatic again. And this is going to be the stage 3 engine. You can tell that it's a little bit more willing to stay up in, like, the higher gears. Oh, wow. It launched itself up towards the top of the banking. It did not do that on the middle engine, for sure. Come on. It's still, I'm having to kind of really work on how the thing kind of wants to shift around on you. There's a little bit of gear hunt going on, and I'm not sure if that's, like, on the truck or on the way I'm driving it or both. I'm sure I could drive it better and drive it a little bit more in line with what the gearbox wants. I just have to learn exactly what that means for the gearbox and what the gearbox actually wants in terms of drivability. It seems to do better when I feather the throttle. Like, when I feather the throttle, it really likes to stay put in the gear that you want it to stay in. Does these really nice, like, corner entry drifts. I really like how it does that. Like I said before, we do need a little bit more ballast on the rear, but we'll see how it does. Oh, yeah. Not bad at all. Come on. Come on. Go right into high. Did I destroy the suspension? I did destroy the suspension. Holy smokes. Man, I did not think that that wall hit was gonna cause that much of an issue. I'm gonna have to take a run through the pits. Ooh, come on. Hopefully that didn't completely ruin my time. I just need to get better than a 140, although I don't know if it is going to be better than a 140. I don't know if this power was enough to, like, make up for that. 130, oh my God. So even with a pit stop, we went 10 seconds faster. That's actually pretty insane because 10 seconds on a racetrack is a lot. Now, in terms of what we can do with this thing outside of racing, let's go back into the garage now, and I'm going to actually change up the setup on it a little bit. So let me actually take the stickers off now, and we'll go for a slightly different look. We'll go down here to the bottom, and we'll do a little bit more of a kind of a desert truck look, and we'll leave beans on the dash there. And, oh, you know what I should have done? I should have gone for the other suspension. Now, the raised suspension seems to be about the same height, but it might have different actual, like, shock programming, you know what I mean? And when I say shock programming, I mean it might have different flex. It might have different ways it actually performs. So let's see what kind of flex it's got. Now, ease it on up there. It's okay amount of flex. It's nothing, like, super crazy to write home about. but let's go back and switch it out to the stock suspension and see if that amount of flex changes at all, because it might, it also might not. Easing it on up. All right, let's see how much flex you have now. It seems like it's definitely got more. It's got more down travel on the stock suspension, which is odd, but I mean, like, I understand it, and I understand why, you know, obviously the creator wanted 2 different suspension types, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out where that raised suspension falls into place in terms of what this truck would be used for. Now, let's see how it does in some rocks. It's going to be a little bit of a weird truck to take through some rocks, but I think it'll do pretty well. Oh yeah, like right off the bat, I mean, I know it's a big truck, but it gets down in the rocks for sure. How's the approach angle? Not even a problem. It goes right up those rocks. And the thing is, all-wheel drive and div lock are always on, so you can just bump basically any obstacle in automatic mode if you really want to. And it's got all the torque in the world, so if you want to just like kick it into high and then just scramble up an obstacle like that, that is also totally 100% doable. Now, oh, yep, and with the immense weight and heft of this thing, you can just knock trees over. If you if you just back up into them, you can just knock them over. That's properly satisfying. And the center of gravity is actually balanced pretty well. I mean, it will come in to remind you that it is a little bit top-heavy, but it's top-heavy in a realistic way, not in a frustrating way. Can we make our way through here, or is this going to be a little bit too tight? Maybe a little bit too tight, huh? Easy. There we go. Dude, there it is. There it is. Putting those 60-inch tires to work. Man, this thing actually does really, really, really well. And I have mad respect for how good this truck is. Now, if y'all want to check this thing out, there will, of course, be a link in the description box down below. And if you're new around here and you would like to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. And I will see y'all next time. Talk to y'all later. Hope y'all enjoyed.